session today, and I'm feeling absolutely wonderful here. This is a very safe testing community where we don't have to justify testers' role in this world, right? And we are all having the same mindsets. So today, what are we talking about? We are talking about automation. We are talking about robotics. We are talking about RPA, a sneak peek to intelligent automation, digital transformation, right? So this is what we all would be talking today, right? Of course, these are very big topics, and I think 40 minutes of session would not do the justice to all these complex things, but we'll try to, touch base. Who am I? I'm Somya Gupta. I'm a quality expert at CMMI Level 5 company. I have an experience of test automation, project management, business process management across retail, finance, voice center domain. And the views I'm going to express today in this presentation, these are my personal views and they doesn't represent my employer. Okay, so give me a moment, I'll just switch the mic.
You can put pocket.
Hi, I'll put it. It's work.
Okay. Okay. You can put center.
Yeah? Yeah, fine. Okay. Am I audible? Fine? Yeah. Okay. So how many of you, just to get a sense, I want to know how many of you are familiar with automation? Great. And how many of you are familiar with RPA, Robotics Process Automation? Okay, nice. And anybody having any idea what is beyond RPA? Okay, so that's why we are here. We'll connect the dots and I'll try to, I'm not an expert in this area, but I'll try to connect the dots and we'll make this session interactive so that we have a clear idea. The learning outcome from this session would be that you have a clear idea of where to start RPA, how can RPA solution look like in your process, and some jargons which is there in the industry right now. I hope that we'll get a step, more information about what we are having it now, right? So without wasting time, this is the agenda for today. I'll not read through the slide, but yes, this is overall. We'll talk about RPA. We'll decode the mystery on RPA, use cases, vendor landscape, implementation cycles, and then there are few industry trends that how RPA is different from Selenium, from AI, and all these things, right? Okay, RPA adaptability in digital transformation. So what is digital transformation? We have heard delivery transformation in the morning from Ramit's session, but what is digital transformation? I want to, for example, I want to hire a cab, okay? How was my experience 10 years back? Okay, I have to hire a cab, I have to start early from my home. I'll go to a taxi stand or I'll go to some road and then I'll go to, I'll wait for the taxi person would come. I will negotiate first of all on the destination location. A lot of people would say, no, I don't want to go there, correct? And then once you have the destination settled, you will go on to the price negotiation. Once all the terms are settled, you will finally hire a cab and you will sit in and go. But what it is today, you think you have to go somewhere, you'll open your mobile, you have our ride-sharing apps, Ola, Uber, any app. You'll just fill in your destination location, pricing code, you'll get it then and there, and then as soon as you confirm, you get the driver's location, right? 4 or 5 minutes. Of course, Novotel was an exception yesterday where I waited for 20 minutes to reach the cab. But general scenarios, it only takes 4 to 5 minutes and driver would be at your doorstep and you just have to step in and reach. Minimal hassle, correct? That's digital transformation. Another thing, very, very interesting thing I saw yesterday was Blinkit selling iPhone 14. That's digital transformation, right? That is transforming the market. Exceptional services, customer expectations, sky is the limit. You think and you get it, right? That's how we have started thinking, right? We need grocery cookies working in the kitchen. Okay, let me order. We are running short of tomatoes. Let's go order, get it, correct? So this has led to us capable tech platforms And we are into that, high capability of tech platforms and all those things. And if you see in this upward trajectory, digitization and automation, they will hold the future. The first step is the digitalization, which is the foundation of your digital transformation journey, where you will standardize your data with BPM, CRM, ERP processes, and on the top of it, you'll provide the automation that can be, and the automation is a big umbrella where RPA would fit in. So I would tie up RPA with the automation strategy, correct? And that's where we are talking about today. A step beyond is smart automation, which will touch base on the later half of the session, which is more on the predictive analysis, cognitive learning, and all those things. And we'll touch base on towards the later half of the session. Very simple example. How many of you used vacuum cleaners? Yeah. Mess-free cleaning, correct? You just clean, okay. Next comes iRobo or RoboQ, right? Smart home cleaning system. It will scan the app, scan the map of your house, right? And it will do the cleaning at the stipulated time. It will come out. It will clean, go straight, left, and your house is cleaned. But what if there is an obstacle? I have some guests in my house and they have got big luggages and they're just lying on the wall. My iRobo comes in, and it just makes an obstacle. So does my iRobo know that this is an obstacle? What should I do next? Should I turn right? Should I turn left? Should I stop? What should I do? That's smart automation. The ability of a machine to sense the obstacle and to process that information and action accordingly. That's intelligence, and that's smart automation, which companies are having the buzz of. Any system able to sense, process, and action accordingly. So that's smart automation. But we are not talking about smart automation today. We are just talking about a simple iRobo, which is automating the manual tasks and cleaning your house. Correct? Okay. According to Bill Gates, very famous quote, first rule of technology is, when automation applied to efficient operations, it will increase the efficiency. And what is the second rule? When automation applied to inefficient operation will reduce the efficiency. And that's where the importance of baselining comes in. You should have a digital foundation to get any automation effective or bringing efficiency and value to your business. So that's where in the big picture, automation and RPA can standardize. Okay, jumping on to our topic. Robotics process automation. Is it robot? It's not. It's not a physical robot which we often think over, right? Metallic robot on the floor working for us, correct? It's not that robot. Process, it's not that process also, right? It's not a process which is having some steps and all, no. It is automation, right? Yes, it is indeed an automation strategy. It will allow you, it's a simple automation strategy which will help you automate a task. It will help you automate a digital task, and it is easy for anyone to use. But all those tasks which does not have human judgments involved, which doesn't have logical reasonings involved, the same thing which we talk about, the smart automation just a few minutes back, that's RPA. Okay? So if I am into the job which has some rule-based approach, rule-based sequence of step approaches, then I can automate it via RPA. And as per the research, it suggests that 80% of a human's job is rule-based, it's repetitive, it's based on work procedures. And that can easily be automated by RPA. So then what will humans do? If I am going to the job, I'm getting paid for 9 to 5, right? But 80% of my work is done by robot. What will I do then? Then I will have to evolve. I will have to utilize my things for which I as a human are good at. I'm good at innovation, innovative thinking. I'm good at creative things. So that I will have to find out that how can those jobs would evolve and how can I better leverage the talent which I as a human have, which cannot be given to a machine. Right? And if you see that it's a computer coded software that are known as bots, so that software which I write to automate the task, the rules, the sequence of steps, those are known as software bots or robots or bot, and it will work on any rule-based activity, repetitive task, high volume work, digital data, and it is mimicking human actions without human judgment, right? Now, these are market surveys, and these are all authentic sources which we have got. That RPA market size, there is a lot of buzz on the RPA because the market size valuation is huge. It was 1.4 billion in 2019, and it is expected to reach 11 billion by 2027. RPA is one of the category which has the, which was trending in 2018, and still it is. And it is exceeding all the initial forecast, right? And if you see the growth rate of 34% from 2020 to 27. Now, if you talk about the adoption rate was 12% in 2019, and it increased to 20% in 2021. This is as per computer and economics. Now, very interesting is by 2030, 47% of the human jobs would be automated. Okay, and economic impact is 5.2 to 6.7 trillion by 2025 as per McKinsey. Now, when my 47% of my job would be automated, what will I do? So there is one more interesting metric. As per LinkedIn, it is one of the categories with second highest number of job listings. So jobs are not stopped, jobs have not been over, or it's actually evolving. And there are new kind of opportunities which identify human skills, right? And if you talk about, if you just see towards the right side, it is the metrics for the people who have adopted the RPA. They have said that payback period was less than 12 months. Initial investment was huge for sure, but payback was less than 12 months. 20% of the full-time capacity was utilized by robots, right? And it is meeting and exceeding the expectation across multiple dimensions: compliance, quality, productivity, cost, everything is reduced. And you can see the numbers in the graph here. 78% of those who have already implemented RPA, they are planning to increase their investment, right? So that means that it is bringing them value. But yes, you can see a lower metric is 3%, where it is scaling up of RPA is a little difficult task which companies are trying to figure out. So that's the market, that's the buzz of RPA, right? Coming on to the next, we have, okay, so we have a scenario, okay? I have 4 PDFs in my mailbox, and I want to extract those PDF, put them into an Excel, and then put them into a my office web system, upload those invoices, and then send that email. You understood the problem? We have this 4-step process where I'll have to take the mail, check the mail, and from that mail I will pull up the PDF. From that PDF I'll pull that data to Excel, and from that Excel I will put it, upload it on my website, and then when everything is done, I will send a mail to the owner, DL owner or whatever. Okay, so this is kind of a 4 to 5 step process. And if I have to do 4 to 5 invoices, how much time, ballpark figure, how much time you would take to complete this? Ballpark figure, come on. Half an hour, okay. Like simple stats, 2 minutes each step, and we have 4 invoices, so 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half an hour, all these things. Okay, so now let's see how a robot will do it. How RPA would solve this problem. मेरी रिकॉर्डिंग चल रही है वीडियो को सिर्फ टिक कर नहीं तो डलवा देना कोई मैं एम्प्लॉयर का तो नाम बता देना ठीक है So the 4 steps which we spoke about. PDF to Excel, Excel to web and application. Sorry, so magic, right? 2 hours of work in 2 minutes by RPA. Yes.
So the process or the steps you just demo, that is what even the automation called as, right?
Yeah.
Then what is the actual special benefit of RPA in this case? Because
Hold this thought, we'll have it covered. I'll make sure it covers. So coming on to the capabilities, we have seen this in the video. I'll just revisit it. It can do button clicks. It can do email sending, opening attachments. It can work on the files, folders, create, move, logging the applications, web applications, taking the data from DB, from web, doing the calculations, merging the documents. That's the capability. Again, all the capabilities that doesn't need human judgment, your all your logical reasoning, thinking, that is not there, but other things it can do. Benefits, of course, to fast, efficient, bringing efficiency. 2 hours of work, 2 weeks of work by a human is done in 2 hours. That's as per the stats. By the way, the video we saw was from Deloitte, and this was the source of that video was Deloitte. The quality and compliance, 100% accurate and trial capability it has. The versioning control is there. Employee experience. We have, as per the reports, it is a high value opportunity that it is bringing to the employees. And they are, it is freeing them from the monotonous things, and they got that extra hour to learn a skill, implement a skill, bring innovation to the system. It is a very important feature here is it is quick to implement and scalable. It is a non-invasive technology. Whatever technology you are using on behind, underneath, it will work on the top of it. Operational agility, it can integrate with multiple applications. It is having detailed data captures and cost savings. Of course, we get that idea, right? It is, as per the reports, it is 40 to 80% of cost savings which RPA does. Moving on to use cases, it has plethora of use cases. And whatever we can discuss in this 40 minutes or in this session would just be the tip of the iceberg. Your automation use case would include, you have to see what is the nature of your test case, what are the scope of your changes, what are your automation goals, how much of structured data you have in your organization. And when we talk about the use cases, we have plenty like KYC updates, which many of the financial institutions are doing, customer onboarding, employee onboarding in any of the company, room reservation booking, for example, maybe Novotel might be using it for room bookings, for finding out where the vacancy is there, they will just fill the book. So underneath they can, room booking is also a good one. Invoice matching, invoice creation, a glimpse of it which we have seen in the video. So that can be the use cases, and whatever, in healthcare you have use cases, patient records, doctor details, insurance data upload, all these are the healthcare use cases. Moving from legacy to new POS systems, comparing the competitive pricing for different vendors. So that these are the all, and in technology we are using it big time for hardware and software testing. Right? So these are many use cases which you can think of, which I can think of, right? So we have a lot of use cases in this RPA world. Talking about the stats, the adoption and the investment is increasing day by day. You can see that not only the large size, but also the mid-size and small-size companies are in this segment. Why we have divided it into this, why the data is compared is because RPA is initially expensive. It's not easy to implement RPA solution. So, but small size companies are also investing in it. And coming on to the next, okay, the text is cutting here, but it is showing the trend from 2019 to 2021. And as you see that we are towards the upward trend only, both in terms of adoption and investment. And RPA adoption by function, this is showing you the different verticals where RPA's use cases are increasing, and that also is on the increasing side only. So that's on the use cases and the adoption and the investment which industry is seeing right now. Next question is RPA vendor landscape. I have a lot of vendors in the market. What do I use for my use case, right? So you have in the market, you have 70 plus RPA vendors available. Now this is a survey of Everest Group RPA metrics assessment. According to it, it classifies vendors as leaders and competitors, contenders. So in the leader category, they've put in NICE, BluePath, Automation Anywhere, and star performer is UiPath. Now star performer is UiPath, that doesn't mean it would be a star performer for you as well. It depends on your use case. The major thing is your use case. What is your use case? You have to envision it, your use case properly, pretty well. Tool is important, but it is not the central player, right? Your software architecture, how well it would collaborate with the tool you are selecting, that you have to envision. And that is the power of envisioning which we will do in RPA. Good RPA tool should include what? It should have good customer experience, it should have version control, debugging assistance, security, exception handling, licensing structure, change management, recorder features. So these are the good features, and you have to analyze any tool's capability with the use case you have. And accordingly then you will work. Right? Next, coming on to the RPA implementation life cycle. So I've included this slide with the intention that there are questions, how is it different from the testing tools, or this is an end-to-end thing. This will start, your journey would start from discovery. You will discover, you will envision your use case, which tool is working for you. And then you will design your solution. You will do the feasibility metrics. You will design a proper solution. You will have a development and the testing phase, and you will deploy your solution. But your journey doesn't stop here. It will stop at maintenance stage. You have an ongoing maintenance. When you have deployed your robots, software robots or bots in an infrastructure, then you have to maintain them also. And there is a huge thing involved in the infrastructure. You have resource PC, you have app server, you have DB, okay? You have virtual machines on which your bot would be running. There are a lot of infrastructure activities also, like scheduling the bots, managing the bots, monitoring what are connected devices, not connected devices, creating the users. So all these are the infrastructure activities, and infrastructure stage is much bigger than people anticipate in the beginning. Now, it's not all good things on RPA. RPA implementations do fail, and as per the reports, it's 30 to 50% of the RPA projects initially fail, right? And what could be the reason for that failure? The reason is either the application I'm working on, the process is not robotic. When I say process is not robotic, means the application for which I'm trying to automate is not stable. It's keep changing. Now when it keeps changing, what will happen? I'll have to improvise my RPA code accordingly. For example, my application has 10 icons. Now they've improvised it to 4 icons. I will have to modify my RPA code again. I will have to maintain that code again. That there will be the cost involved in that things, right? So application consistency and stability is the key. Wherever you are confirmed that this application would be stable, would be there for 2 to 3 years, then only RPA would be benefit for you. Other thing is dynamic environment, because sometimes what happens is, as I spoke about the infra topic with you, infra maintenance is much more dynamic than we often anticipate. We have a lot of components in infra which requires the skill set, the money and everything, right? In any case, in any of these cases, either my process is not robotic, if I have a dynamic environment, the tool which will require much more maintenance and continuous development. In a business, what do I want? I want my, all in all, that my revenue should be more than whatever dollar or money I have burnt, right? That's simple maths, right? Cost minus this is profit, correct? So that is the thing. So now we have to envision that. That's the importance of envisioning phase in RPA, considering all the features which we have for infrastructure also calculated. And that's where the RPA implementations fail, because companies don't anticipate maintenance phase. They just believe that, okay, the use case is there, okay, this will bring that much of efficiency, and that's how they don't calculate on the maintenance phase, and that there the ROI would reduce. Right? Okay. So now, this is RPA, which we will talk about. Sorry, I give you a sneak peek. Now, since this was all RPA, now what we'll do is we will compare the RPA things with different thing. And I think your question comes here. You spoke about the automation, how automation is different from RPA, or why should I invest more on RPA, right? So I think this is a common question, and since we are all testing folks, we have gathered here, and that's the reason I took up this topic. Both are moving automation technologies, right? Both have a set of procedures. We'll write the script, they will automate the task, everything will happen. So why RPA? Why new skill set? So one answer to your question is the digital foundation we talk about. Any company to grow, since we are on the digital transformation phase, we need a baseline, and RPA will give that baseline, that data, because that only will not focus only on your testing phases, but also focus on your things, on your total processes. Talking about the difference, key differences. Selenium will automate a web application testing for you, correct? Whereas RPA is from end-to-end process. As we have seen in the video, it started, it was doing a series of steps. It was going through multiple applications, doing PDFs, doing Excel, doing web, doing email, right? So RPA will do end-to-end process for you. It's not only for your web application testing. Secondly, Selenium requires programming, right? You need to know JavaScript, Python, Ruby, whatever your Selenium script you need. But RPA is a flexible automation. We have different vendors which provides different products. For example, if you talk about Blue Prism, that's workflow based. You'll create a flow chart, and out of that flow chart, you will just drag and drop. Automation anywhere, that's list based. You have a list of actions, click, open, all those things. So you will just select the things. So it is very flexible automation. You need not have the programming knowledge required for RPA implementation. Selenium is open source. RPA solutions are licensed. When I say licensed, you will see, there is a contradiction can come. So I will like to jump and resolve that first. So Automation Anywhere, UiPath, they offer free source also. But that's for the basic version. If you go for the advanced version, they will definitely charge you big time. So mostly RPA solutions, if you want to implement, it will definitely be licensed for you. You will have to pay some money. Selenium, as we talk about, it's web app. and RPA is platform independent. Selenium will use WebDrivers and RPA uses bot. That is a jargon which we use in different technologies. The scripts is on WebDriver, whereas RPA is bot. Complex life cycle, Selenium has a complex life cycle because you are only involved in the testing phase and all those things, and it cannot do much on the application side, whereas RPA is simple life cycle. You just teach your bot what to do and your bot will take care from here, right? Anything your bot, anything you have a repetitive, monotonous jobs, RPA is here. It will perform the work for you, and you do only the things which you are good at. So that's the difference. I hope your question is answered. Anything else you can let me know. Okay, maybe more of your questions would come up in the upcoming slide. Next, AI, artificial intelligence, which is the trend, and everybody is buzzing about it. Anybody who knows a bit is definitely a hero because very less knowledge on our AI is available in the market, and whoever has it, they are like the stars, right? So now we will compare what is RPA and what is AI. RPA by itself is not intelligent. It is just well behaved, right? It is actually a dumb guy, I would say. When we combine it with cognitive automation or with cognitive capabilities, it will become intelligent. Then it will become IRPA, which is Intelligent Robotics Process Automation. So right now, it's not intelligent. It is just well behaved. You teach him, okay, I have to do X, Y, Z steps, RPA will come and do it for you. But if you say, okay, you apply some intelligence, you'd find that the three things which we spoke about in smart automation, sense, process, and action, that is not there, right? So it is basically a valuable precursor to all the cognitive tools on the organization. You cannot go ahead and just apply your machine learning algorithm anywhere. You should have a strong digital foundation because machine learning algorithms, they are all data driven. You have to feed in data, and then only it will do that predictive analysis, cognitive automation, everything. So that data will be provided to machine learning algorithm by RPA. And that's where we saw that upward trajectory. Correct? We saw that upward trajectory. Automation is the first initial step to our smart automation. So it will lay the foundation of machine learning algorithms by creating the amount of data to feed in those algorithms. And we can, these are future toolkits for any enterprise. Cognitive castle and automation and digitization, they're already the future. So these will help you, move towards the future toolkit. But they are separate entities. You cannot compare apple to oranges, right? These are separate entities. They will work together. They will work together as fruits. You'll like to have a good fruit chart, right? For apples and oranges. But of course, they are separate. So that's what. In order to enhance your job with cognitive solutions, RPA bot can be combined with analytic and the cognitive capabilities, right? I'll try to have a simple example. The example is your KYC upload. Here RPA is combined with the OCR capability, which is optical character recognition. When you upload your documents, RPA is combined with OCR. OCR will do that character recognition. It will scan your document. It will convert it into that text to numbers, and then it will compare and give you the report, right? So that's a classic use case of intelligent RPA, where it is combining RPA with the cognitive solutions. Okay, now coming on towards the last of the session is common myths around RPA. So we have tried, so these are all the questions which people have. So let's start with the first one. RPA will destroy the jobs. So I think we have covered it well in the session that RPA is not going to destroy the jobs. It will destroy the repetitive and it will change the way the world is getting the work done. In fact, LinkedIn stats showed us that it is the second highest job listings technology, right? So it is definitely not destroying the jobs. Next one is RPA is killing BPO, business process outsourcing. Now, what is business process outsourcing? It is the customer care interaction that we do. So if I say that, okay, I have a bot, he can communicate and he will solve, there's no need of representative, right? That's not the right thing. We as humans, we want more of the human interaction, human touch to resolve our problem. If I'm calling at a number and I'm in a deep trouble, I don't want to talk to a bot. I want a personal touch. I want a CCP. So here, my CCP would give that touch to me, that communication, because he's good at communication. On the back end, if you have to do some ticket ID and all those things, that bot can take care, right? He can just initiate the bot, he will create that ticket ID for them, the complaint ID and all those things. But my bot, but my CCP, he will focus on the communication things, right? He will just, talk to the person, try to help him, all those things. So here my CCP is focusing more on what he's good at, he's focusing more on communication. It's not that it's his job is going or it is killing that process. The culture will remain same. I would still, if I'm in repeatable, I will still like to talk to a person rather than talking to a machine. Next bubble is RPA same as AI. I think we have discussed this enough. Correct? RPA is expensive. RPA is expensive initially, but we have also seen the stats which says payback period is less than 12 months. Right? So that means profits. Yeah? ROI is more than our dollars or the money burnt, and we are into profit, and at the end of the day, company would only look at benefit. Anything could be automated. So I'm not sure if you could catch the words which I've used. The interaction is, of course, things can be automated, but anything can be automated. That's not the case. We cannot automate a process which is having a lot of logical reasoning, a lot of human judgments. So that cannot be automated. Other thing is my application should be stable. The processes, the digital foundation, it should be digitized properly. I should have a structured data to automate. If that application is not stable, my automation journey via RPA would be only expensive. I will only have to burn my dollars or my money. I will not be able to reap the benefits. Coming on, RPA equal to machines. RPA is not machine. It's not that metallic robot. It is a software code, software bot, which will do what we will tell them to do. RPA is industry specific. RPA is industry specific. No, we have seen that there are many cases in different industries. And again, the ground rule is same, that if you have the series of steps, it is repetitive, it is rule-based, it's based on work procedures, we'll just implement it via RPA, but it should not have the judgment and all those factors, human factors involved. So that's RPA, right? Any other myth anyone is having here? You would have heard, or you would have, got it in this during this discussion. Yeah.
I have one question. We know that the repetitive work can be done by the RPA, but how good is the reporting skills or reporting way in RPA? I would like to know the understanding.
Okay, reporting as in?
Reporting as in, suppose if you are automating a series of processes, then we need a screenshot or capture in a report so that we can, as a tester, we need to have a report so that we
Correct.
automation is done.
Correct, right.
So how good is that?
So how we'll just decode your problem and we'll see that how a human would do. I will do the execution, I will pull the report, right? And then I will send that report via email. That's what you will do as a human or a manual process. I have to decode the process on which I am working. I have to find out the steps which will be followed. If it is execution, you're talking about the execution, right? So I have to show the bot first of all that, okay, I'll log into this application, I will do the testing, I will check expected equal to actual. If not, step would fail. If expected is equal to actual, then it will pass, right? And then you will show the bot. Bot is observing what you have, you are doing that step. It is a record and play system. It will record all your steps, right? There's no science there, no judgment there. You're just saying expected equal to actual. It will see that, right? And then it will upload your results in the Excel or in the web interface, wherever you want to do it. And then it will go to the email and create a DSR if you have a specific.
More like what is the reports, like when it executes, do we know whether it succeeded, did not succeed? Will we be able to show that like if there is a problem in its execution, those kind of things, right? So that's what you want to know, right?
Yeah, more
Stepwise execution results. At the end, can we see, these are the steps performed and step one.
So can you do it in manual first of all? There are different systems. If you are doing it in manual, And it is like there's no judgment, you just want to see, if you want to see that, okay, how many steps have been done, is it there any self-healing been done, what was the RCA? If you go into that details, that comes in the human judgment and all the cognitive details. But if you just want to see, okay, how many steps have passed, how many steps have failed, or at what point, which step it failed, I want the detail of that step so that I can do an RCA and I can do a self-healing mechanism on the top of it. So then if you are doing it like manual, right, you will log into that portal, you will see that step. So you have the RPA or any tool which you are using, it will have a recorder feature. You'll open that recording, you will just do the work. It can do calculations also. You can see that out of how many steps, which steps was failing, which was satisfactory. So that report, as you are doing as manually, the same way you can configure it. You can do the calculations, you can do the merging of the document, you can log into interface, because if you are creating the report yourself, then you have a specific template every time you're not creating that report yourself, right? So then you can just show them that, okay, then I'll open this template, I'll fill this detail, I'll take the data from that portal and I'll fill it in like test cases completed, 10, how many test cases I've completed. So that configuration you can do. The thing is, if there is any cognitive element where you have to take a judgment, okay, if it is failing at 2, if it is simple, if else thing, then you can do it. But if you have to see, okay, if this is the failure, then I'll have to escalate it to that level. So then it is difficult. You're not convinced. Yeah, it's done? 5 minutes, okay. So I'm done. I have only this topic, so we can have Q&As here. Power Automate is an RPA tool, yes. That's free, I think, right? Again, basic free and then free, okay, yeah. So I think that's the strategy which RPA's tools are there.
But what will be in the coming years, like how the GoT has been replaced with the free automation? What if certain things comes up and they provide this RPA for the free and all these?
That is like, the big giants can do. That's how, Amazon is competing with Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud, because they have a lot of freebies. Of course, freebie is the culture everybody loves. So if, if they can do it, there is a lot of infra cost and everything involved. So if the companies can evaluate that and figure out that, of course, that's a good solution we have. Yeah.
In terms of the execution life cycle or the time frame, say for example,
Execution of a project or RPA?
execution of the automation suite from start to end.
Automation suite, okay. You're talking about the RPA use case or a test use case?
Yeah, I'm talking about a generic
End-to-end,
test
okay.
use case. Take for example, we have Geo folks here. So geomart.com, if that's been automated using Selenium, so what will be the UPA for migrating the entire suite of test cases to RPA?
Okay.
And what is the true benefit of using RPA versus existing Selenium what's been implemented?
Okay. So again, the question loops back, right? RPA have a testing phase, and you can extensively use RPA Selenium libraries while testing your flow. Because at the back end, RPA is also using some Selenium libraries only. So these are two different tools. RPA will only help you get the process. See, as you've seen, that robot can do a work efficiently, fast, all improve productivity and everything. Selenium is more only on a test front. RPA is using Selenium libraries for testing it. But that's only for hardware and software testing, which is only a phase in RPA implementation lifecycle. Your RPA test case is much broader, vision is much broader than only the testing, right? In software development, what you're doing? You're developing, and there are different UIs and middlewares while you are developing the software. Then it comes to testing. I am a tester, okay, I got an application, I'll do a manual check. And if there are repetitive cases and there are reusability and everything, then I'll automate my suite. And then I will test and I'll pass it. It will go on to all different quality checks, user acceptance and all those testings, and then it will be deployed to the production, correct? There is no end-to-end thing. We have done it in phases. But on the contrary, if I come to a different use case, where I just want to have how many users are customer onboarding, maybe a new employee onboarding, HR onboarding. Okay, I have to see, now this is a process which has repeated things. People would come in, I would send them emails, they would click on the activate profile, and these are the series of steps. Okay, that is what you are automating. And in that, if you want to check that, okay, the process which I have created by RPA, the series of steps, the demo that we have seen, right, navigating to Outlook messages and taking out the PDFs, taking out the Excels, right, that series of steps, whether that integration is happening properly, that we can test via RPA also. That testing phase of RPA is using Selenium.
I'm just trying to understand the USP versus taking this clear example of GeoMart. It's not only a workflow based, but also it is workflow based with a lot of permutation combination. There's a lot of business
Rules
associated to that. As compared to a hiring process where there is only if then else, right? Windows workflow kind of emulation. So for the USB Pi side of it, if a person who is doing a GeoMart type of development, should they use Selenium or should they use RPA?
If you're doing development, that is a scratch development, if you're making new features, right, then RPA is not for you. RPA is not there for you for anything new, because RPA means the basic ground rule is you have to teach the robot, and then they will do what you are doing. So you will not do that, okay, for this feature I'll do the development right now, and then I will teach my bot to do that development. So if there is, your application is stable for long years, right? It is stable for 2 to 3 years. You're not doing any development. Development is a separate, that is a SDLC lifecycle you're following if you're doing new features and all those things. But if suppose in your GeoMart, if you have some series of steps which you follow for testing, then you can use RPA for that testing phase.
See, normally RPA, right, are not necessarily linked to testing. So in the sense that
Yeah, that is one phase.
But it seems like it is not necessarily only for testing, right? So if you are just using it for testing, maybe like you should just use Selenium.
Yeah.
But the point is, a lot of times the companies use off-the-shelf, buy off-the-shelf products, 2 different products they want. Okay? But like the output of one needs to be fed into as an input to the other tool, right? So in those cases, like the RPA tools will actually like can be used to pull this and push that.
Yeah.
There is not a testing or tester involved in it. It is basically somebody was like manually sitting and doing that. Instead, these bots do that. So
Yeah.
that's the.
And what is a skill we as a human require? We need that, bot maintenance activities there, which has come up with this. You have to have this DB integrations, your application integrations. That's what is the knowledge, evolving. People are trying to learn it to feed, to have that adaptability to the market. But yes, as he rightly mentioned, it is development. If you're developing a new thing, then of course, whatever features you are using, that would work for you. Thank you. Any other questions? Are we on time?
After lunch.
Okay, so then we have one more corner, so we can maybe talk about it. So thank you everyone. I am Somya Gupta. I'll be available on LinkedIn. Please reach out to me for any questions.
और अच्छा था
Thank you.